3, 2. Oh my God.
Yo, what's up?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the program.
Shout out to Airtime, y'all podcast.
Yes, sir.
All right, welcome back to the show. Today's guest is an absolute beast. You've probably seen him in a lot of Hammer films over the last 5 to 10 years, but even had a longer stint in contest riding for over 10 plus years in the spotlight of that. Went to the Olympics, and now a close friend and overall just a fucking stellar human. We got Torgeir Bergrem. Bergrem? How do I say it the Norwegian way? Bergrem?
No.
Bergrem.
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 Yeah, it's hard. Thank you for having me. I'm hyped to be here. Nice.
I mean, I hung out with you for the last year, or winter, I guess, not year. Met you in a van going to Japan for the first time. And I definitely thought you were a little weird. No, I'm kidding. I thought you were dope, dude. I was a little nervous, dude. You're going on a trip with like a new group of people, like you, me, Darcy, Rusty, and do we have a photographer there?
Christian was there.
Oh, and yeah, obviously Christian. I was like, did we have a photog though?
No.
Oh, I guess we had Rusty's lady for a day.
True. Sophia was there for a day or 2, 3, maybe 2, couple. I don't know, but you shot some photos.
I did. I got half the roll back.
Yep.
We got some really good lifestyles.
As you do.
We got a couple B grade photos. I also have only looked at these scans once, and you got a really good one on the tree jam and the method.
Nice.
The method's good.
Yeah.
And maybe one more. But like honestly, I was a little bit the last year that I went and shot photos, I was going there and I was like I was shooting an article and I like really took the time to shoot. And then this time between trying to be like, I'm going to film some airtime behind the scenes stuff and shoot photos and try and film and try and not spiral, because the beginning of that trip was difficult for me because I wasn't landing some shit. You know, like you get on like a roll when you, at least this is for me. Maybe you can speak to this if you too feel like this. But like if you get a clip, you tend to like spiral into like getting another one and another one. But like when you get in a little bit of a fucking rut, sometimes it's really hard to get another clip when you like your mental game starts to change a bit and you're like, you kind of get fucked with.
Yeah. I think that's the case in all parts of life. Like for anyone. Like if you do something that's boosts your confidence, that's only like gonna compound into you doing more good things. And then and the other way around, if you do something that like kind of cuts into your confidence a little, it's only gonna like keep like going down until you manage to turn it back around. And I guess like seeing that from competing, just like if you do bad at a few contests, how shitty you start to feel, and just like, am I really good enough to do this? And like, can I do these tricks? I do it fucking every day when I'm just shredding, but then as soon as I get a bib on and like it's like there's stuff on the line, then like it doesn't work, you know. It's like one of those things that some people are amazing at handling that and some people struggle more, and trying to find a process that works for you, I think it's like it's hard, but you need to do that.
Let's open that up. What is your process to getting out of that rut if you get into it? You know, you get an 11th and a 14th. I'm imagining that's fucking ego bruising.
Yeah.
You're like, I ain't coming back.
No. No, like 100% is. We had well, I mean, when you compete as much as I have, we had a like a system when I was on the Norwegian team. And then after a contest, you were allowed 1 hour after each contest to be a complete asshole to anyone and just be mad, and just you could bitch to anyone, just be upset. And like after that hour, it was like, okay, like life goes on. Like you've had your hour, like you're good. Like start thinking about the next one. But for me, like whenever that happened, it like my way of doing well at a contest was to take all the consequences and all the seriousness and like all the things that weren't snowboarding out of it and just try to look at it as another day on the hill. Because I am one of those people who are gonna be 5% less good when I compete than I am when I'm just shredding. And then there's another, like, some people are the opposite. Like say like a Mark. He's like, he doesn't really, like, a lot of the practices we ride for contests and stuff, he doesn't do a lot of the tricks, or at least he used to when I was competing with him. Like, didn't do a lot of the tricks, and then all of a sudden he just like pulls out something that you were not expecting. Like on that, in that moment, that he's like, he can pull out those extra 5%, and I'm the opposite. So I need to be on autopilot. It needs to feel easy for me. Like, I'm not the one who's gonna be like, oh, I could maybe do a quad cork if I'm lucky. That's never happening. So yeah, it's just one of those things that I learned about myself from competing like that.
I think most people you get 5% worse when you have the pressure. For a lot of people, it's even worse than that. You get full stage fright. Like, there's a lot of people that are listening to this that boarded, that went to a contest when they're 14 years old, and they tacoed on a lip slide, and then they could back 7, but they hung up on a back 5, and they're just like, I'm not going to come back. You know? And then there's other people where if you can keep that ball rolling, like the one thing that Mark had going for him is that every year he would freak out some crazy shit. He'd be like, you know, not even in like top 10, and then he would just do like a back 16 perfectly when nobody could do that, and he's like, man, he won the whole event. And you're like, dude is like insane at being like, you know, the pressure's on, he can be clutch.
Yeah.
And I'm the opposite. I like, you pull out the camera and stuff, I get worse, where a lot of times, like, you know, you're filming a lap in the park, I think everybody's gonna know what I'm talking about here. You do like the steezy back tail on this down rail, your homie's like, dude, I should get my iPhone out. We should film that.
Yeah.
30 tries later or whatever, you get a couple, they're too fakey, they're a little weird, and even the filmer's like, damn it, like, why can't you just pull this together?
I swear to God, I can do it.
iPhone goes away, back tail to regular, perfect.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's like 100% true. I don't know. It happens to me all the time. So like, just learning that is like, was big for me. Just figuring that out, and just like, all right, if you're gonna compete or anything really, just, and it kind of goes back to that that confidence booster or teardown thing too. Like, if you know that you're gonna be, like, if you're going into a contest hoping that you're gonna be able to pull out that extra 5%, you're gonna get disappointed every time, you know? So that's what I started to like expect, like riding 5% less than my perfect day. And then it started to work better.
Did you learn any tricks in contest in the heat of the moment? You know, you're in a big air, you're in a slope style, and you're like, if you couldn't do, let's say back in the day, it's like 12s and 10s. Like,
yeah.
Did you ever just go like, I'm going back 14 and then just pull it together? Or are you somebody through, you know, going to Stu by or something like that, getting repetition, and then you're like, I can pull that out, but I can't just pull that out in a slope style run if I've never done that before? I
guess one time at Aaron Style Junior Jam, the first time I went in 2012, I think it was, maybe to 11, maybe. I did a cab 12 that I've never done before on a scaffold jump. That was like the only time I think I've ever done a trick that I hadn't done before that.
How much harder is a cab 9 than a cab 5, and how much harder is a cab 12 than a cab 9? Like, does it hockey stick curve? You know what I mean? Does it rapidly get increasingly way harder?
No.
Because the way you can cab 12, like the ones I've seen, it looks like a cab 9.
Yeah, I think it's the same trick. You just have to like split it up into. So whenever I would do a 1080, I would think back 5, cab 5. And when I do a cab 9, it's like a cab 3 to cab 5. Back 10, yeah, and then a back 14 is a back 5 cab 3, cab 5.
But do you ever think cab 9, cab 7, back 1?
I wish.
Like, you know?
No.
Maybe I had it all wrong because that's how I would think of. No, I
Oh,
wouldn't.
cab 7. Well, cab 7. Yeah, no. Well, I mean, everyone has their own way of like splitting things up, but I think like once you get like into the spinning more realm, you have to kind of do that.
What's the nemesis here? Backside, switch backside.
My weakest,
Yeah.
switch backside 100%.
Like where are we capping out here?
I've never done a switchback 12 in my life.
I thought he was gonna leave it at switchback 9. I'd never done a switchback 9. Switchback 12, dude. So you've switchback 10.
Yeah, I've switchback 10.
And when have you tried the switchback 12? And what would happen? You'd land in like a manual or something.
Yeah,
like
I'd
that?
land on like tail wheelie.
I feel like that's how I would land too if I did a switchback 12.
Yeah.
But I never got to the switchback 9.
No, but, and then like when they used to have 4 jumps in contests too, like a 1080 was okay. So if I would go switchback 10 and then cab 12, front 10, back 12, that would be like still a good run, you know. But now it's like you need 14, 16, 14, 18 or something crazy, you know.
What do you think contest riding is missing right now? Is it missing anything? Are you enjoying it? You know, being such a competitor for a 15-year period, I feel like your stance on this is very valid.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You know, when you stop doing something, you get a little fed up sometimes. So you kind of take a step back and try to distance yourself a little bit. I think that happened to me a little. So that I wasn't like, well, I'm watching contests when my friends are in it, but it's not like I tune into every fist big air anymore, you know. But the level has gotten so nuts, especially in the big airs now, that I'm just like, it's hard to keep up. It's like now I've always been able to tell exactly what trick it is just by looking at it. And now I have to start counting. And then for me to start counting, who's been snowboarding for 20 plus years, like how is Joe Schmo and fucking like watching this stuff in his living room, how is he going to know what that is? You know, like there's no freaking way. So that's what, maybe if they do something that looks slightly different, but that's a tale as old as time trying to like reinvent contest snowboarding. It's hard to do.
But there's been figures, yourself included, who have made their marker on that. You know, when you started doing the switchback 5 method and the back 7 method, you know, you had people like David Benedict who was also competing, and he started doing those like big back shifty back 180s and stuff. And so there's been competitors that have at certain times in snowboarding have been like, I'm not just going to chase the extra rotation. I'm going to do something new. And there's been a small group, but they have been rewarded for taking that approach.
Yeah. I mean, they still do. I think Rene is one of them he can still do a 720 in his contest run, and it's getting scored because he does it all like weird and pull back and makes it look all crazy. But then I think now it's gotten to a point where people do all these like weird rodeos, and they say that they're reversing the spin midair, which they don't. That's one, like they don't. They just like, it looks like they do, but they don't. And then like they get rewarded for doing like things that look weird but not good. And that's a big issue for me watching contests now, where I see kids getting rewarded for doing things that could be really cool, but it is just executed really just not very stylish looking, for me at least. And I guess style is a subjective thing and it's different for everybody. I know that, but just for me, it's not doing it.
It's tough when you come from a place, Norway, where
Yeah.
all of the greats there are like, you know, top dogs for style. And I like when, I believe Pierre Wickberg, when you went to the Olympics, said something along the lines of, if the judges were like paying attention, Torgeir just won this whole fucking contest without even knowing it when you did the switchback 5 method.
Yeah.
And it's times like that where like someone like Pierre is tuning in that you're stoked because you know that that generation isn't super involved in the Olympics, but like it is nice to know when there's like the younger generation is coming up and then they put an emphasis on the importance of style. Because I think every generation gets scared that the next generation's not going to care enough about like a tasteful approach. And then there's always that handful of riders that are like, nah, we're still here. We care.
Yeah.
Like a Rene.
Yeah. I think that that's the one thing that like stays. Like people who like, cause that's timeless. Like a rotation's always going to be outdated at some point, you know? Like a new trick's always going to be invented. A crazier trick's always going to be invented, but doing something that looks cool, that's like, it's not quantifiable in the same way. It's like, it looks cool because it looks cool. Like, why does it look cool? I don't know. It just looks cool. You know, it's one of those things that's like, that can stand the test of time. And that's, you know, I'm not saying that I'm one of those people, but there's a lot of riders who you can watch their video parts 15 years after it got released because they do things that still look cool and you don't know why, but you do know that it does, and you don't have to explain it because it's just, that's style to me at least.
Okay. What's your favorite rotation?
Oh God. Like, I'm gonna
call a friend.
I'm gonna curveball you here a little bit. My favorite rotation is a Jotation.
Hey, don't you dare bring that into this. That's an inside joke that stays between you and me and and my career.
No, I think, well, like a type of rotation. Is that what you're asking me? Or
yeah, like
a
anything,
trick?
is your favorite thing to see, switch, like what is it? Switchback 5 is your favorite, or like cab 7, or like is there one that really stands out to you that's been enrolled in video parts and it's always like anytime somebody does that trick properly, you're always like, damn, I kind of like that.
Yeah, I think backside rodeos do that for me. Like a good back rodeo 5 is I think hard to compete with. Like if you do like a sick back rodeo 5 melon in the backcountry, I think it's really hard to do, and it looks really sick.
Okay, well,
simplistic.
Who? Back rodeo 5.
It's hard to not say Peter Line.
Great answer.
But yeah, I think that's the one that pops up in my head with the white forum base and just, yeah, straight back rodeo 5.
I mean, it's a good one. What about back rodeo 7? Do you get a little bit more disappointed with the 7? Do you like the back 5 rodeo? Do you like the back 5 rodeo approach more than the 7, or does the more spinning get you excited? Like if you go to a back rodeo 9, do you get like, oh, because it's more technical?
I think a back rodeo 5, especially done in powder, is one of the hardest things because it's a blind switch powder landing, which is, in my opinion, one of the hardest things you can do.
I really liked Ika's. He had a couple over the years that he had some good back rodeo, and he grabs the stale.
Yep.
I really like those ones.
He has a really sick back rodeo, and he has good back 5s too.
Ika's like, his name doesn't get brought up enough on this podcast for how much of a super fan I am. Like when I was like Grom going into the backcountry, it was the Devon and Ika era.
Yeah.
And like, dude, like the footage is so good. It's like sick front 7 tails, back 7 melons, big features, half cabs, switchback 3s, cab 3 indies on like big step downs. The one thing that's changed a lot over the years is there's a lot more of that like natty Jake Blauvelt free riding approach, which you have really embodied into your riding. What's kind of the approach to an all mountain, well-rounded video part to you? What looks top of the line these days to Torgeir?
Well, now I'm really biased towards like backcountry and free riding because that's what I do and I think is the most interesting. But when I was a kid, I would always skip the parts who only had free riding in it, you know?
Oh yeah, if you weren't stacking blocks, I had no relatability to
No,
you.
it was rails or jumps.
People are like Johan Olfsen, Sheen Campos. I was like, next.
No, it was like I never watched them, which is insane because now that's all I watch, you know. So it's a little. We've talked a bunch about this between with the people I ride with on a daily basis, and it's crazy how your like focus shifts like that, and you were just like, who the hell watches this? All they do is turn, like, and then now I'm like, dude, it's the sickest thing ever. But I guess that's just me getting older. But yeah, I think like having a freestyle element in your, like, if you're doing video parts and you're in the backcountry, I think doing freestyle stuff is important, and I think that I'm never gonna be like Jake, who was like, if it takes more than 5 minutes to set up, fuck it, you know. Like, I'm never gonna be that, because I think jumping's the funnest thing ever, and that's my background. I come from park riding, and yeah, I just think that jumping into powder is one of the most fun things ever. So like having good jump tricks, ideally having a few switch landings is in the backcountry, and then having some sick free riding, I think, is what gets me juiced now.
What's your favorite feature for jump maneuvers in the backcountry?
My favorite, was it like a step down or a hip or
Like if you're going to bed and you're closing your eyes and you're dreaming of your dream shot the next day, or hell, if you fall asleep, what does your dream look like?
Yeah, I mean, I like riding a spine with a nice air at the end where you can do a trick. I think that's, for me personally now, if I can ride a sick spine and do like a natty trick off of the end of it or middle of it, I think that's like my dream now, more than a big step down or a gap or something.
Yeah, and how the tables have turned, you know, once you're riding contests and the only people you want to watch in a video part are people that are jumping. And I'm imagining for someone like yourself, there's a couple names that are popping into my head who would have heavily influenced you, but like maybe let's get a couple influences from like the early days, and then like, you know, you start competing and you're starting, like, who was your dog that you're like, well, maybe you're even competing against them, but who are some of your favorites?
Well, watching snowboard movies early on was one thing, but like my first like guy that was like kind of close to home was Torstein, because he's a few years older than me, and he was like a young, really talented, great snowboarder who we come from the same hill. We rode the same resort when we were kids. And I didn't know him personally at the time. And then he went and left and moved to go to there's a snowboard school in Norway that everyone kind of used to go to. And he went there, and then he started competing, and then he got sponsors, and then he started winning contests and started filming video parts. And so he was like he legitimized the fact that you can make a life out of, like, from just snowboarding. You're
like, it's real.
Yeah.
I can do it.
That was like,
if I put my mind to it, this kid from my local hill did it.
yeah, exactly.
It's so
That's
real.
exactly what it was.
You know what I mean? Once
Yeah.
you see somebody that you fucking hang out with do it,
Yeah.
it becomes so attainable.
Yeah.
You're like, I could fucking do, why can't I do it?
Yeah. That was literally like, he was the one that like made me realize that this was something to actually, that could be. I wasn't thinking that, oh my God, I'm going to make a life out of this. I was just thinking that, holy shit, like, if you're good enough at snowboarding, you can travel the world and snowboard in Freeway in Breckenridge, because that was like the sickest park at the time, you know, like that was the shit.
It's also crazy when you like idolize somebody from your local hill. Like you were saying there, you weren't super close with Torstein, But then, like, you know, you go to Breckenridge and he kind of recognizes you or whatever. And then before you know it, you're just homies. And then you're like, oh, you're just a normal person that I can, like, hang out with. And you want to film crazy snowboarding too.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, let's, like, do something for, like, your YouTube video.
Yeah.
And then you destroy Alec in a game of snow.
You did your Torgeir YouTube search. Today.
That one was so good, dude. You just, like, douche fucking Alec at the end. Like, no holding back.
Yeah.
Cab 7 double grab, like, stiffy.
Yeah.
Like, the way you called that trick,
true.
too, was so funny.
Yeah.
So they're playing, to give some context, on Torstein used to have this massive YouTube channel.
It's a long time ago.
Like, kind of the pioneer for snowboarding YouTube.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And what was that? It was called Snow, right?
Game of In Your Face.
In Your Face. Sorry. Oh my God, that was embarrassing. Yeah, In Your Face. And you're going against Alec. And were you three homies at this point?
Yeah. No, so like this is after I got super close with Torstein after like I started competing and then got more serious about snowboarding, and then like yeah, I consider him a close friend, and he's been my buddy for forever. We lived in Encinitas together for like months in the fall, just training and getting ready for the season.
His focus has also made an effect on you, because I feel like everybody that I hang out with that hangs out with Torstein that's close with them has like this, like, if you meet your heroes and they're so inspirational, and Torstein throughout his whole career has like gone from like being top dog in contests, which like for someone like yourself, as you were a contest rider, you're looking up to, then he does this flawless transition into the backcountry.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you start riding full-time backcountry, there's no way you weren't like, are you the dog here? Like, you the dog out there? Because his shit was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's like, it takes forever to learn how to stomp in the backcountry. And Torstein within like 2 years was like, what step down? What natty hit? Like, dude was like.
So crazy. And he's changed a lot, like mentally, you know, he's a lot more chill to be around now. But there was a time when he was competing that was like, he was very like freight trainy, you know, like he would go and do things his way. And if you weren't doing things his way, you were kind of, I don't know, like he wouldn't say it, but it would seem like it, like you're doing it wrong, because like he's the one winning everything. So like, obviously what he's doing is right. You know what I mean? So it's like, but then after he stopped competing, he got super like mellow and just like found balance somehow in his life, and now he's just the chillest dude ever. So like, he used to be like fucking go, and now he's like more process.
Was there a big mental shift for you too, though? You said you did contests for a long time there.
Yeah.
Was there a mental shift when you got out into the mountains and decided to move past contests? Because Torstein drastically changed when he moved into the mountains full time. Like, you know, he's like, I did it. I'm done with that. That was a different version of myself. Did you kind of have that drastic change too, or?
I don't think so. Like, I feel like I have a similar mindset, I think, now that I did when I was competing, because I'm like trying to find things to improve on all the time, and not just like I'm trying to get better. I'm not just there to enjoy it and just, you know, I want to enjoy it too, and I focus on like, I want to, like, it needs to be fun, because if it's not fun, then it's not worth it. But I'm also always looking for like small things to improve on. So it's definitely a little bit of the contest mindset that is still like lingering around there. And I'm not looking at filming a video part as the same as competing, but it's like, I am in a way competing with myself a little bit, you know, if that makes sense at all.
What are some like pros and cons takeaways from competing?
I think you get to know yourself really well, and you have to be kind of honest with yourself. And that was something that I struggled with a little bit. Just like, if something went bad, it was hard to like admit to myself that I was the reason that it went to shit or I didn't land, or it's like if I would have just worked a little harder or whatever, or done the tricks that I didn't want to do when I was just shredding, then I might have had a better chance of like landing in a contest that I fucked up on or something like that, you know? So like being honest with yourself and like acknowledging where you can get better it's a thing that's really like, I'm glad that I have that, because I think that you can kind of take that into a lot of aspects of your life. And like on the other side, it's just like winning at all costs is a shitty thing. Like you don't, like in 99% of cases in your life, winning at all costs is not a good thing, I think.
Damn. So winning at all costs, which I think is a terrible personality trait.
Yeah.
And then being honest with yourself is a fucking great personality trait. Another thing that I've noticed just from like hanging out with you is just like you seem really devoted, hardworking, like you want to extract the most out of the day, but you're also really good at being realistic with the day that's presented to you. So like we just had a grilled cheese at the Alpine Cafe there. And what did you say about the day tomorrow?
Yeah, that's a thing that I've it helps me not get disappointed. If I'm like, because if I expect too much, I get disappointed, because like having high expectations is bad for me. So because if I expect everything to be perfect and it's not, then I get a little bummed. So having a thing that I try to do, especially when there's a potential for shit not to go great, is have high hopes but low expectations.
I think everybody who's listening to this right now can take that and they can move it into date night.
Yeah.
Because date night, you put like, you know what I mean? Fucking date night comes out, dude, and you're just like, wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or partner or whatever is just fucking like, tonight's going to be the best night of our lives. You're going to pick me up. We're going to go fucking, have dinner. Then we're going to go to the show. And we're going to arrive at all these perfect moments. And there's going to be chairs at the bar. And the bartender's going to be nice. And then we're going to get in the first fucking cab we see. Birds are going to be chirping. And then it doesn't fucking work out like that. And so date night, you just got to go into it with fucking Torgeir's program and just be like, it might not be that awesome, but it could be.
Yeah. Or it's just like, I think this is going to be sick, but I'm not going to be bummed if it's not amazing,
I think it could be sick, but I'm not going to be bummed if it's not.
Yeah.
Date night.
Yeah.
I'm stealing that one, dude.
Date night with Joey. It might be awesome. Might not.
Yeah, totally. That's what I feel like, dude. And if you say anything wrong during date night, it's ruined, and then you're just like,
yeah, that's bad. And then you're a little bit like, oh, we gotta go, and then she's not ready, and then she gets, oh no.
One wrong word before you fucking leave that door.
Yeah.
Like, hurry up, the cab's gonna be here.
Yeah.
Or they're like, do you like the red top? You're like, not really. Like, oh, fucking shit, dude.
I walked into that once with my girlfriend now. It's like, oh, how do I look? And I was like, for work? Because she looked really nice, but it looked like she was ready for date night. And I was like, are you wearing that to work? And then after that, I learned my lesson. So I don't, like, now I just say, she looks really nice all the time.
Correct answer.
Yeah. There's no wrong ever.
What pushed you away from contest riding? What was like that moment where you kind of were like, nah, I'm good? Because you did not leave it at a point where you were spiraling out of control, landing on the deck, drifting off the side as a hazard. You were kind of on one, like riding well.
Yeah, I mean, after, the end goal was always to film. Like when I started snowboarding or started watching snowboard videos with my brother in my parents' basement, like that's what we wanted to do. And then the road to get there would be do contests, make a name for yourself, get sponsors, and then be able to film. Because it's hard to film because it's time consuming and it's expensive, and like you can't just go out and film. You need a crew. So I always wanted to compete to be able to film. And then it's like the longer I went on, I did well at some contests and I did like not so well at a lot of contests, and I never really like won the Olympics or won an X Games. I have like I've won contests and I've got like X Games medals and stuff, but I've never like did what I was expecting in my head, and that's kind of what kept me going. Like the idea that like I'm still improving, and like if I keep going a little bit longer, I might do all these things that I have in my head wanted to do, And then I got to a point where I wasn't enjoying it at all. And
like how much of a not enjoyment? Like the way the words that you kind of use there, more so the tone, I should say. That sounded like you were having a fucking bad time.
Yeah. I mean, this was 2020, I think it was. I was in New Zealand doing the New Zealand Open, and I was 28 years old, and Taiga Hasegawa, the dude who's like winning everything now, he was there, and he was 14. So I was twice his age. And I was like, and I don't know, I didn't do well at that. I might have done okay. I don't remember, but I was like looking at the start list, and it was just like 2002, 2003, like years people were born in, like, and I was like, dude, this is like kind of crazy that I'm still here. And then the next year we did World Champs in Aspen, and it was a great day. This was the year Stolly and I filmed for Rumble. I don't know if you watched that, but it's a movie we did together, and we were in Aspen doing a World Champs, and the park was perfect. The weather was perfect. It was supposed to be really fun, and I was not enjoying any of it. And I was just talking to Stolly on the lift, just like, this is shitty. It kind of sucks. And then Seb Toots gets on the chairlift with us. And then Stolly and I are like, well, let's not like be bad vibes dudes here. Like,
let's not bring the energy to zero
let's
here.
Let's not complain. And then the first thing he says is like, dude, like this kind of sucks. That's the first thing he says when he sits down with us. And we were like, yeah. Like, we're not having fun either. It was just one of those things where I've been thinking about that for like 2-3 years already. That it's like, I need to take the step and leave and do what I really want to do. And then that day I was just like, I'm just pulling the plug. Like, I'm calling all my sponsors. I told my coach, or like the national team guys, like, I'm out. Like, this was between slopestyle and big air, and I was like, I'm not doing big air. I'm leaving. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. And he was like, whoa, are you sure you don't want more time to think about it? And I was like, I've had 3 years to think about it. I'm good. I'm okay. Like, I'm not doing it. And then I called Austin, and it was like, I'm out. And then he was like, sick. Why didn't you do that sooner? And I was like, sick. Okay, that's cool. And then I called Knut at Nitro, and he was like, sick. Like, we didn't really care about contests anyway. And then I called Jan and Seth at Volcom, and they were like, fuck yeah, this is sick. And then Electric, the same thing, so that kind of just gave me a lot of just confidence to go out and film instead. And then I went to Utah that same night because I talked to Sage, and he was like, we're hitting Pyramid Gap. You should come. And then we went and hit Pyramid Gap. And then I got a trick on Pyramid Gap, and I was like, I made the right call.
Wow.
Yeah.
So riding away on fucking Pyramid Gap was probably a pretty special moment then.
Yeah. No, I was so
Like, I can do this. Like, that must have been, what was it special for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was like, not to get all like ooey gooey here, but like just like you made the right call was like basically what I like. That was my takeaway. It was just like doing a good trick on Pyramid Gap, which is like a proper size jump, and like getting a good clip. And it was a great day, and we were hanging out, and I was just like, this is what I want my snowboarding life to be. And I can put way more effort into this than I would be able to half-ass contests for another like 3 years, I think.
Yeah, and in 3 more years, where would you have been with contests with these kids like Tyga and stuff like that coming out and being like, you got to be able to do a 2360, and you're like, you wrapped it up at a good fucking time.
I think I hit my ceiling at contests.
Hey, the one thing I will say about contest riding is that if you're a young kid and you're into it, ride contests until you're early 20s. Push it as far as you can. Try a triple back rodeo taipan. You know, if you only get to the double rodeo back 7 taipan or double rodeo taipan flip thing, that's fucking great too. Really, if you come out into the backcountry and you have really good pop, really strong takeoffs, you kind of know how to ride pipe, because everybody who can fucking ride pipe kind of is really good. So
Yeah,
do that
like
too.
that.
It's weird like that, but remember that, kids.
Yeah.
And then come out there, and if you have some fucking good 10s and maybe a 12, like, you're fucking stoked.
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily want to come out in the backcountry and be like, you know, if you don't have all the 7s dialed and you're just like, I'm just gonna go ride POW, like, it's kind of nice to be able to be like, I'm really light on my feet, and I really can take good edge control off these jumps, high speed, low speeds, whatever. You dial in everything to that 7, 9, 10, all directions. Like, you're going to be stoked in the backcountry, because it's just going to be a little playground for you.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, oh, this little bump right here into all POW. Like, I'll try a switchback 9 because I have the fundamentals dialed.
Yeah.
I'm glad you wrapped it up. 5 years later, you make a film, your own film, Temple of the Dog. Like, you probably were quitting contests like, I quit, and your first team manager's like, cool.
Yeah.
After the 4th one, you're like, oh shit. Then you go hit Pyramid Gap, roll away, and you're like, oh fuck, I think I'm good at this. 5 years later, your own feature film with Monster, like,
Yeah. It's actually just 2 years later.
was it?
Or 3 years. 3 years.
2022 was Temple? No, 2023.
2023. And I walked away in 2021.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
2-year window to your own film in the backcountry. I've been out there for 15 years.
Well,
I'm not from Norway, and I don't know how to ride half pipe, people.
I'm not gonna say in your defense, because it's not in your defense at all. But we've been riding powder our whole lives. Like,
You can say limited skill set. It's fine. You went to Japan with me, Mr. Cab 9, first try to the moon. Joey, what are you gonna try?
You got 6 shots, but I'm
I'm like, Cab 5.
Cab 5s are sick.
Cab 7s are sicker.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, we filmed and rode powder like from we started riding, because like, yeah, so it's not like I just went into the backcountry like 100% green and just like learned how to ride in 2 years. That's not what happened.
That's what it kind of looked like for me.
Right.
Like, when I think of Torgeir, I was not thinking backcountry guy. And then in these last 5 years, you're like NST, like own film, like absolute, like Rusty and I talked about this at length, but Rusty in particular. Maybe before I say this, actually, I'll ask you, what were some of your favorite shots from that film?
Which film?
Temple of the Dog.
I mean, I think I was really scared hitting Ravine Gap, that big, the Travis Rice Art of Flight gap. That was probably the scariest, because I got search and rescue insurance the night before doing that, just because like having a thought in the back of your head, just like, if this goes south and I like can't get hellied out, that's like a bad thing to have. Like, not that I thought it was gonna happen, but it was just one of those things that I wanted to eliminate out of the world. So I got global rescue that night, and then and that session was fun with Brandon Davis. And
let's get some of the details here, Mr. Jacket Flapper. Like, what did you do on Ravine Gap?
I landed. I did a back 12 on it. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think I would have done if I hit that thing? I think I would have G'd out and slid up on my back.
You would have done a sick back 180 mute, and you would have complained that you did the wrong grab after. That's what would have happened. I'm not kidding. That's what would have happened.
Dude, that shot is insane. The in-run clip is like your jacket is like...
Yeah.
Like, is that the fastest you've ever gone into a jump?
Yeah, like off a takeoff, yeah. But like going into a jump, if you have a big lip, like a big park takeoff, you lose a lot of speed going up the lip. And for that, it's just down and flat. So you don't lose any speed. So I think that's definitely the fastest I've ever gone off a jump.
Yeah, great legs on that back 12. Like, did you just spin backside and hold on, or did you actually have a plan?
I was gonna back 12, yeah. Like it wasn't an accident. But
so the night before with Sage, are you guys like, what are you guys doing? Are you guys like, watching like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies and shit, or like because Sage is all about the fucking pregame.
No,
you know what I mean?
Sage wasn't there. Like this was
who did you hit it with?
Brandon Davis.
Just you and Davis.
Yeah.
Oh,
and like mad respect to him. He hit it first. And he got a back one and a sick front 9 off the toes, which is like not getting the recognition that it should, because it was freaking like insane.
Yeah, but that's been Brandon Davis's whole career.
Yeah.
Brandon Davis is fucking sick.
He is one of the best snowboarders I've ever shredded with, for sure.
Brandon Davis, if you're listening to this, you're absolutely incredible at snowboarding. And he's a fucking stellar human.
He is.
Brandon Davis, everybody. He's got Instagram. Go follow him.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Wicked boarder. We've been saying that forever up here.
Yeah.
Long before we've crossed paths. We were like, his first couple shots, you know what I mean? When they come out and you're like, whoa, that guy's good. I kind of feel like Luda from Beyond Metals is kind of the same way.
Yeah.
He doesn't get enough shine.
No.
We know Kevin's and crazy. Like, he's so fucking sick. And, you got your Sebe Bucks and like, yeah, that crew is locked.
Yeah,
but Luda is fucking insane.
He's
too.
Insane, yeah.
Shout outs to Luda.
Yeah, Luda is actually insane. He's a machine.
All these Euros come over here and just hit all of our jumps, all looking all steezy and shit.
Yeah.
Well, we got a couple good dogs too.
Oh, dude, there's a reason why everyone comes here.
Yeah, because we got good jumps and good gaps, and we got decent beer, good jokes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. So what? Let's get another one. You said you hit Ravine Gap. What's one more?
There was a lot of stuff. There's so much that goes into doing something like that, making something like that. But yeah, that first line in AK was also like, when your balls like shrink a little bit, you're just like scared because there's like school bus sized cornice right behind you, and you're just riding down this like thing that you have no idea if you're in the right spot, and then hopefully you make it down, and then when you do, it's just like a crazy euphoric feeling. But that was pretty special for me. And then going like actually hitting a lot of stuff in Utah, because that was a huge snow year in Utah, and going out with Seth and him just taking me to spots that hasn't been hit for like 20 years. Like that, I did a front double 10 in that video, and that's the same jump that JP Walker back 7 tail grabs in decade. And it hasn't been hit since, because there's a rock that gets exposed because it needs a huge snow year, because that rock just gets so warm, so it just melts every year, so it just isn't a thing anymore.
Well, that front 10 double is a heater, and that JP back 7 tail, which I don't actually remember in my head right now.
But yeah, you should watch it.
That's in Decade?
Yeah.
Is he in the camo jacket or pants or some shit?
I can't remember exactly what he's wearing, but yeah, he does a back seven tail in that. Yeah.
I know on the goalpost of the soccer field, he's doing a board slide in camo pants.
yeah.
So that's what's coming to my head right now when I hear JP, but you know, this is JP flying through a jump. I mean, for me, Temple of the Dog was a special film because I thought you were good, but that one like fucking seared me with like you could film with anybody. Like that video is incredible. Like the shot I was hoping you would bring up was the back seven that me and Rusty absolutely like. We were like for a backcountry shot, and maybe because we live in Whistler, but like that shot is like that's 10 out of 10. That's a perfect backcountry shot. Back seven, big step down, perfect style.
Yeah, thank you. That's also in Brighton, like with Seth, and that's a jump that they hit a bunch before, and it's right off the chairlift. You can hike 10 minutes, and then, or you can see it when you get off the chairlift. It's pretty sick, actually.
Was it kind of special to be navigating through the mountains with Seth Hewitt, an absolute legend?
Yeah, definitely. I stayed in his basement for a month. I don't know.
Whoa. Nice basement, unfinished, black mold, dark, damp. What kind of basement?
I didn't see any black mold. He has cats, and
that's a bad time.
No, it's actually they're sick.
But do they smell like cats?
No, they don't smell like shit. They smell not. I don't think they smell at all, really. But
I think a lot of people here have some serious questions. I don't know if the people believe you.
No.
I know he's your team manager.
Yeah.
But 2 cats in a basement reminds me of my grandma's house.
Yeah, no. He has a sick like music room in the basement where he edits his stuff, and then his son Mason has a room down there, and then I had my little nook, and it was actually really sick. And like a month that like for snowboarding and just hanging was like the sickest. I'm really glad I got the chance to do that.
Let me ask you this. If you were a team manager, what would you look for in a rider to be on your fucking team?
That's a good question. The X factor.
How extreme are you, brother?
No, like, I mean, just like, I don't know, doing cool stuff that like resonates with people, and like doing stuff that you like, and just not trying to do what everyone else thinks is cool. I think I don't know, it's hard to like say something, you know, like there's always like, if you're a TM, you gotta like, what makes a sick dude, you know, there's like 900,000 things, but you can't really name one of them, you know, like you gotta be able to hang out with them. That's one thing. Like, are you a part of the crew? Like, are you gonna fit in with everyone? Are you like, do you do sick stuff that like you can tell that it resonates with yourself? Like,
well said.
You know, because that's, I think, doing stuff that you think other people think will be cool is gonna like come like bite you in the long run.
It takes a while to learn that though.
It does. And like finding a kid that's freaking between 16 and 20 who already knows that is tough. But there are people, you know, like, and back to Rene, he's a good example of that, you know, like he does crazy shit, but he does things that he wants to do. Like, and if people tell him that, oh, you should probably do this, and that's not him, I bet you he would say, well, thank you for that, but I won't.
I think Heldor Helgeson's another great example, like for being like a pioneer in that, just like being unapologetically just Heldor. He's like, hey, I'm from Iceland, and this is how I snowboard, and this is who I am, and everybody, doesn't matter if you were into the DC skittle combo, rail switch up combos, everyone fucked with him.
Yep.
He was so himself at such a young age. I'm trying to think of another example here. I mean, even the way Cannon Cummings is snowboarding for such a young kid to come out of Baker and just like kind of just ripping the mountain. Just, I mean, it's pretty special when your dad's Temple and
yeah.
fucking
I mean, he's got
good mentors.
Good mentors, but yeah, he
gets
it,
coming from Iceland. His mentors were probably like, man, I met Kareem El Rafi one time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
at the Frontline Rail Jam.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think those dudes, they stand out, and it's pretty. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to like put a label on it, but you're just like cool people are just cool people, I guess. It's like style.
The hardest thing is just being naturally fucking cool. And when people try and be cool, it looks really bad.
Yeah.
And it's really noticeable, which myself, did I ever try to be cool a long time ago? And it was exhausting.
Yeah.
And then we said before we were recording, how fucking awesome is it just hitting into your 30s and just being like, this is me, world.
Yeah.
What up?
Oh, yeah, you don't like me? That's okay. You know? That's nice. And I think, like, dude, Blake Muller is a great example. He is young, but he seems like he's doing that. Like, he does really cool stuff, but he seems to, like, do what he feels is right for himself, you know?
Oh, I like that name.
BMO is fucking sick. And I got to know him a little bit now in Revelstoke. And then we met him in the parking lot yesterday. They went out and he's filming with 686. That'll be fun to see what they get up to. But yeah, he's one of those people, I think.
4 people, roughly. What, or maybe you don't get to go 5. You could go 3. A couple people you would put on your team right now if you were a team manager.
I could never.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's hard to.
Would you put me on?
Yeah, definitely. You'd be my mentor. You'd be like the dude. Just like your only job is to make sure that this guy gets a clip. No, I'm not gonna. We don't have to go into that.
All right, here I got a couple questions here presented by K2. Thank you so much for supporting the show. The board I'm riding right now is the Alchemist. You can check it out. I'm riding the 157. I like it for everything. It's the board I ride for everything. I know you're supposed to ride it only in POW and backcountry and pillows and ripping down the hill, but I ride it at the park and I just don't care because I love it. I love the way it snowboards. It's my favorite snowboard I've ever been on. K2 Alchemist. Check it out. All right. Favorite line rider?
Like current or
take it as you will.
I think I would say Johan.
I should put an emphasis on whatever comes to your head first. That's what the premise of this game is, and I forgot to say that.
It's Johan or Noah, I think.
Nice.
But I think Johan is like the dude. And also I want to give a notable mention to Victor Delarue because he's like arguably right now the dog. I think.
Yeah, his last film is insane. All right. Well, the next question is, who's the gnarliest?
I think. Well, I think it's hard to not say Travis Rice because he is the gnarliest, and he is just his energy and his snowboarding is the gnarliest. Like there are few people I get intimidated by, and he is like one of those people.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I feel like a kid at camp that keeps coming back to camp, and I'm not sure if he knows who I am, but I've been at his camp for a long time.
Yeah.
Every time I go to natural selection, I'm like,
"Hi, I'm Jody."
Yeah, I'm like in an elevator with him, and he looks at me, and he's kind of like, "What are you doing here again?" And I'm like, "I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm judging."
And it's easy to think that he's
Travis
not in
Rice.
tune with stuff because he's just like he's got so much up here, but he's really in tune with like what's going on in snowboarding too, which is kind of cool, I think.
All right, first thing that comes to your head, naturally talented.
Oh God, Dusty Hendrickson.
I've never rode with him live, but I can tell by his footage that he's very good.
Yeah. Also, there's so many, so I think I'm just gonna leave it at that.
All right, I was gonna say best grab. Yeah, we'll go best grab. What comes to your head?
Nothing.
Nothing comes to your head when I say best grab.
No, so I guess by nothing, Mark Frank.
Grab
because he doesn't.
I like that. Did you fuck with Mark Frank when you were growing up?
Yeah.
Were you like?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever kind of go through like a Mark Frank stage where you're like, I'm gonna get some bigger shit and like kind of be like, do you know how like when you're a kid you kind of lean into certain people even if it's just for a month? You're like, I really fuck with Justin Benny, and the next day you come to the hill and everyone's like, what the hell?
Yeah, dude, 100%.
Which snowboarder made you do the most drastic dress code fucking derail?
maybe not. I guess it wasn't derail at the time because that was what it was supposed to be. But like the fucked up wide stance and the baggy pants, like JP Solberg was my kind of guy, I guess.
That's
But
just
it's
cool.
not a derail. But I
No.
guess. Well, sorry. Oh my God! Why am I blanking?
Yeah,
Bittner with his like like the huge bandanas. I think that would be my biggest derail.
Bittner doesn't get enough shout outs either. If you were a rider back in the day and you watched Bittner shit come out live, you were like, I remember being so hyped on his footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Funniest person.
Jody Wozniak, maybe.
Yes. Woo. All right. Best partier.
Oh, there's a few. I think Tor Lundstrom, I think, is my favorite partier.
Yeah, I don't know him that well, but every time I hang out with him, I kind of have this thing where I'm like, I kind of want to hang out with you more.
Yeah. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time with Tor over the years, and it's never a bad time. And there's more people in that crew as well who are really fun to party with.
Let's go most naturally talented out of the Beyond Metals crew.
Ulrich. Like Ulrich has the best like control, like body air awareness, control of his body that I've ever seen. And when we were in the national team together, and we had a coach from like the Olympic Center, because they like assign, it's like basically whatever, they assign you with different like strength and conditioning coaches, and like there was an acrobatics guy, and he said that Ulrich had the best air awareness he'd ever seen in his life, and he'd been working with people from every sport ever.
Oh my God, it'd be so funny if I was there, because he'd be like, arguably you have the worst air awareness ever.
Why are you here?
Dude, like if I'm like in my head, like, all right, you're going front 7. And if I juice it too much and I have to like turn it into a 9, which like great snowboarders like an Ulrich or a Gigi can just turn it into, I'm like, I am done.
Yeah.
Jesus, take the wheel. I'm going backdrop on him. All right, worst partier.
Oh God. I don't know. Myself sometimes, and I'm like really not in a great mood, I'm a shitty person to be around.
Oh, I saw that at Natural Selection when
Yeah.
you got tired. And it wasn't actually shitty. The gondola broke down. You were in it for half an hour. Then you came up. You sobered up. It was cold. As soon as you came up to me and you were like kind of buzzkilled, I was kind of like, I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I'm really powering through this buzzkill that I got right now.
Yeah, but then I would say the common decency of just like removing myself from the situation, and I'm great at smoke bombing and leaving without anyone noticing. And then when like the day after, no one really like knew, or some people were like, where did you go? And I was like, oh, I just got left, whatever.
Yeah, nobody notices. That's the thing about like if you want to go home, if you want to like, there's been nights where I'm like, I should go to this event. And if you just show face and you have one beer in your hand and you just like nurse it for like 2 hours and then phantom, like everyone's like, man, were you there when we got burritos at 3 a.m? And you're like, I left at 9:30.
Yeah. That's what I did.
I did yoga this morning, brother.
Which is shitty because my best friend won the whole event and I should have been like freaking juiced to party. But he knows me well enough because we've been best friends forever. And then he saw the look in my face and he was like, there's no coming back from this. Like we can't recover him. So like he was like, yeah, you should go home. And then I left.
First try, Lord.
I want to say Sage, because Sage really is good at stomping first try.
Yeah, he's annoyingly talented for sure.
It's one of those things. Like, Jerem always says that Sage doesn't fall, and it's kind of a thing.
If your filmer saying that, Leyland said that about Mikey for filming for Burton 13.
Yeah.
He was like, I think he said he could count on one hand how many times he fell.
Yeah.
He'd just be like back 5, land, cab 9, double cork, land, back 7. And these are like huge
Big
Whistler
yackers.
jumps that have never that are like the top dog jumps right now.
Yeah.
To have a season that flawless, and Sage is Germ speaking to Sage and Sage is riding that level at that level.
Yeah.
Those are special years.
Yeah.
Because eventually, Sage, even to you, they end.
Enjoy it while it
Nothing's
lasts.
forever, brother.
Yeah.
Eventually, you start a podcast.
Yeah.
All right, who's the most competitive?
It used to be Torstein from like my close friend group, at least. Fuck, who's the most competitive now? Well, I do compete now because I do one contest at least. I don't know. Jared, maybe? No. He likes to talk shit. Maybe that comes off as him being competitive. I don't know. But he's funny.
I think he's pretty competitive.
Yeah. I like him though. He's good.
Oh,
He's a good
I'm down. I like that competitive edge that he has. I'm super down.
Yeah.
And like he's kind of like gnarly as fuck and kind of can back it up. I mean his
Yeah, that's the thing. It's really sick because like if you talk shit, you better be ready to back it up, and then he does, which is really sick. He doesn't. Well, I think he might have chilled a little bit, but he would definitely like he talked some shit earlier at natural selection.
Of course, you need a little bit of shit talking.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it. I'm just bad at it, so
Yeah.
I just don't do it.
Okay, let's do some shit talking on two of your best friends, and let's throw some people under the bus here. We got Stale,
Mm-hmm.
and then we got Alec.
Oh yeah.
Stale Sandbeck, Alec Allstring.
Mhm.
Okay, you're close with both of them. Who's a better snowboarder, naturally?
I mean, I think every snowboarder who loves snowboarding the way we do would say that Alec is the best snowboarder in the world, like naturally.
Stale wins. Stale wins natural selection, and it's still not enough to surpass Alec.
Yeah, no, he's kind of achieved that legend status. And then the thing is now he doesn't like put himself out there as much anymore. So you can't take him down from that pedestal either, because you can't like be better than him now, and then he like gets dethroned because like now he rides at home a lot, you know, and he like we don't get to ride proper terrain together as much anymore. But like, yeah, he's the best.
What's one trick that you can do better than Alec and Stale?
I think. Oh Jesus!
You know what I mean? Best friend stuff. You know when you spend your whole life, you know, riding around the resort.
I think I got a better cab 9.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've only seen you do one cab 9 this year. It was first try. It was massive and it was perfect. So I was like,
but like, cause like, yeah, I don't know. I think I've got him covered on the cab 9, but yeah, I think that might be one of the only things.
all right, let's talk a little bit about this season. You switched it up. You decided to film with this guy with a crazy fro, or he doesn't really have a fro anymore. We're not talking about Brandon Davis here. We're talking about the other fro, Rusty Ockenden, and Megafauna crew. How's this season been for you? What's it been like to work with a different crew this year and cruise around?
It's been really awesome. I've enjoyed this season a lot, even though we've struggled a little bit with conditions like you do, but like the crew dynamic shredding, the crew dynamic hanging, like the crew dynamic filming has been like really fucking good. And it's not like a given. Like going out with people that you don't know as well, even though we do know each other, we don't know each other that well. Or we do now, but we didn't. And like going to Japan with Darcy, who I knew from competing but never filmed together, and you that I've never spent time with outside of you judging natural selection. Like that's literally the only time I've met you, I think, right? And then spending 3 weeks in a van in Japan together, which was like, and no one, like, you don't, like, I like you more than I did when I got there, you know? Like, that's not a given. And I'm really hyped that the crew dynamic is so sick.
I think that's the special thing about snowboarding.
Yeah.
Is that when this is all over, Sage, We're friends. You have friends all over the whole world.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing about having the community like snowboarding.
Yeah.
And especially if you live in a resort town that's busy.
Yeah.
That's the cool part, because you got people from Australia coming in, you got people from Japan, you got people from the UK, you got people from Norway, you got people from Quebec, all over the fucking place that come to this place to share in on this fucking similar experience. And then eventually everybody goes their separate ways, and then hopefully one day you have enough to go fucking traveling, and Chelsea and I show up on your doorstep one day and we're in fucking Norway and we're like, what up?
Yeah. Guest room's ready. Whenever.
Oh, one person's room's going to be really nice. Stahle's.
Oh, yeah.
This was my favorite part of natural selection, and I'm just going to let everybody in on this because it's fucking gold. And Stahle's not coming back because the weather's shit, so I'm going to share this story on behalf of Stahle. Hey, I can look at you and you can pretend you're Stahle.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, Stahle, what are you going to do with that money? Because you win 25 grand American plus the sled. So it's like 25 USD. So in Canadian, it's like 70 grand. And he's like, oh, I'm remodeling my house. And I was like, oh, that's kind of sick. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to put a new staircase in. I was like, brother, I'm going to help you out here. Don't tell anybody that's riding at this event. Everybody else is like debt, mortgage, truck payments, like
Yeah.
gotta pay my mom back. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking putting a custom staircase into my house.
That's amazing.
I also love that he showed up. It was his I don't know where his head was mentally, but maybe you could speak to like you going to natural selection with one of your best friends. Like, you guys used to compete together.
Yeah.
Did you have time to realize how special that really is to like go to that event? Like, and you guys are still here. You guys were the top dogs competing back in the day, slope style. You guys are it's fucking incredible to share that journey with like a best friend.
Yeah. We have gotten to share some pretty sick experiences together over the years, and just like going to the Olympics together and standing on podiums together and like cool things, really, really cool things. And then this is just like the pinnacle of our world, like our snowboarding world right now, especially for us who like backcountry freeride snowboarding. And being able to go and do that with my best friend is really, really sick. And also kind of annoying that he just comes in first try and then just like takes everyone out.
But kind of not. That's his style.
That's just him, you know. He's a fucking king. And then I'm not saying that it's actually annoying. I hope you know that I'm joking.
No.
Yeah, it's
annoying.
Yeah, he's a fucking animal, and it's really sick. And I'm so hyped for him, and it's just I'm stoked too. I was hyped on the way I rode, and we stayed together, and we were just like scoping lines together, and my girlfriend was there too, and then we were just like telling, like giving her the thing. It's like, hey, where would you go? And then she would draw a line, and like sometimes it would actually be a pretty sick line, you know, and sometimes it would be like completely off, but that's okay. So it was like, it was really sick. It was just a cool experience.
He's like, remember that dress you didn't like me in? Motherfucker, you should go right here into this fucking tree.
Yeah, go down bar fight. Go straight down.
Yeah, I will say, though, just because you're here, you are leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
We are going to go sledding tomorrow, but it was a special year for me being a fan of both of yours, and then to, you know, like not full heroes, like, you know, I'm not meeting fucking Devin Walsh here, like to that degree, but I was meeting two people that I was like big fans of, and hanging out with them more at length. I mean, I've hung out with Stahle like quite a bit in short little increments, but like, man, you two are just such solid people, like such like raw talent, you know what I mean? Like, and I think for Rusty and myself, like you film with a crew for a long time, and then you film with like, you know, our crew is incredible.
Insane.
Fucking great snowboarders, insane. But like, you know, like there's some top dogs that like we like, you know, when you do slope style for 15 fucking years, we just didn't have that kind of talent. And we had Belzil, who used to win like the big air at like the fucking Showcase Showdown with a dope back 10 in like the early 2000s. And that was our big fucking jump guy. You know what I mean? And then you guys come in and it's like, holy fuck, dude. Like, it's been a pleasure to watch you two shred. And I know that Rusty's so fucking juiced to have filmed you guys all year. So I don't know. Thanks for filming with us, because that was a special year for me. If we bring it to full circle here to another Sage moment, you know what I mean? Like, nothing's forever.
Yep, exactly. No, and it's the same. Like, it's the same for us too. You know, like, I'm not going to speak for Stalin now, but I know that he feels the same way. And just, we've watched your movies for the last 10 years. You know, so us having the opportunity to come out here and shoot with you guys is really special, and we're super thankful and appreciative that that's a thing. And being able to go out and shoot with like the Whistler crew is like pretty freaking sick for us.
Yeah, I'm super happy I could show you guys all my spots that I found and pioneered.
So sick.
Yeah.
Dude, that one we hit yesterday was your spot, right?
What did we hit? Oh no, that's Martin Gallant's spot.
Oh yeah, but you hit it too once.
You hit that in like 1997 in an old like treetop movie or some shit.
Mark was saying Martin a lot yesterday. Yeah,
yeah.
true.
That's what people do here. You know what I mean? They glue themselves to like other people that are like, oh, if I say Devin Walsh's name a lot, that'll make me sound awesome. It's like going to Norway and then being like Torgeir, just saying it over and over, and you're like, that actually doesn't apply here. No. In short, because we do got to get going here, the Olympics, pro con, like, what was that overall experience for you? That's monumental. You know what I mean? You go there with some of your close friends. Do you fucking hate the Olympics? Was it the best time ever? Where do you stand with the Olympics?
You know, it's always going to be a bit of a love-hate with snowboarding in Olympics, I guess. Less so now than it used to be. I feel like, I think now the young kids who are shredding now, they are too young to, like, maybe they do know, but they're definitely too young to experience, you know, the beginning of it. And but for me personally, it's cooler to say that I went than to actually go. Like, you know, it was fun, and it's an experience that I'm like stoked I have it, but more like there was a lot of other things in that 2018 season that was a lot more fun and that I'm gonna remember more than those 2 days of competing in the Olympics.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, I think I speak for everybody when we say we're excited for you to continue exploring your snowboard career, taking it to Alaska or wherever you want to go with it. Maybe I'll ask you that. Where do you want to go with it? Where would you like to see your snowboarding go over these next 5 years?
I think like having a steep learning curve is something that I really enjoy right now, because like when you're competing for too long, like it takes a lot to be a little bit better. But when you're doing, especially freeriding, big mountain stuff, I don't know a whole lot yet. So I'm constantly learning a lot. So I'm getting better quicker, which is really fun. So I think trying to ride freestyle free ride is like my kind of where I want to take it next.
Well, there you go again.
Yeah.
Being honest with yourself. It's
Yeah.
actually a really good quality. One that I'm trying to be more, maybe I am really honest with myself, but I'm too honest.
I wouldn't even, well, I mean, I'm not going to try and speak for you, but I think that you would benefit from like some positive self-talk every now and then, every once in a while.
All right.
Right on.
Yeah.
Should we go get dinner or something?
Yeah, let's go get. All right. So, no, I got you for 5 more minutes.
Okay.
We're going to go with these really quick. Best style currently, back in the day.
Oh God, that is way too hard.
Think. Best style. currently back in the day?
I can't even. Well, I think my style, idol when I was a kid was JP Solberg. So he was my guy when I was younger. So that was then. Dude, it's too hard to say like one name now because there's so many people who ride sick, I think. Well, I'm just going to say Alec then. He has good style. Great style.
I love that pick. I'm a huge Alec fan. Always have been. Career highlight.
For myself?
Well, not for me.
Fuck. Career highlight. Maybe, dude. I have no idea. Maybe finishing that Temple of the Dog movie and being excited about the result.
You should be. That's a big one. I don't think people realize that when you're a snowboarder and you make a film and it's about you and it's the first time that you're the main featured rider through and through, that pressure you would put on yourself for your peer group to respect and like that film, and for that film to not come out and be anything but fucking incredible is like an amazing thing that you should really pat yourself on the back for. That movie is fucking amazing. Like, you killed it. Good job. Really good job.
And and Spenny too, who made it, did a really good job of making it. But yeah, it's I'm stoked on it. Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I love the David Benedict approach. I don't know if it is, but in skateboarding they used to do this a lot too. Like, you kickflip the set and then you switch flip the set, the mirrored switch back 9 and back 9 with the same grab. Like, holy fuck, that was amazing.
Thank you.
One skill you wish you had.
Getting that extra 5% when I was competing.
I thought you were gonna say being better at spinning switch backside.
Well, that goes into it, I guess.
One trend or phase you wish would come back.
Oh God.
Paisley bandanas like Aaron Bittner.
Yeah, exactly. No, the Dragon DX goggles with the strap all the way down your neck, maybe, and the blonde locks out, like.
Hell yeah.
Matt Hammer.
Most underrated.
There's a few, but Brandon Davis is definitely one of them, and I guess you were saying Luda too. Luda is, like, incredible, and yeah.
What keeps you up at night?
Getting my taxes ready on time.
Same.
But I'm done now. I just got it done.
All right. I'll work on it. What does success look like to you?
Having the time to spend with people you want to spend that time with, and having relationships that matter to you, I guess, is like what. And then if you want nice things to go along with that, you need a little bit of money, but I think that's secondary.
Who's one person you wish you could spend a bit more time with?
My girlfriend, probably. And also my family. But yeah, my girlfriend's the first one for sure.
All right. Who's the Norwegian GOAT?
That's tough because there are a few valid picks here.
Yeah. It seems that there's something in the water, as they say.
Yeah. I would say if, Torgeir is like an obvious one. And then Andreas is another pretty obvious one, I think. And then Torstein is a third pretty obvious one. So it's just take your pick.
Have you met all three of those?
I have.
What are they? Are they all nice?
Yeah.
Good people?
Yeah, they're different, but they're cool.
I've met them all too.
Nice. Sick. What do you think? Are they nice people?
Super nice, dude.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Who's the GOAT?
Oh my God. I guess Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Chicago Bulls, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Or
All right, fine. Who's your least favorite pro snowboarder right now who's drastically overpaid and every time they come up on your social media feed, you're annoyed? Throw them under the bus, brother. Here's your opportunity.
no. Who's the, like, I guess the GOAT for where I am in my career right now, I think I would have to say Travis Rice. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, if I always look at this in short, because we got to go. But if you put all of your footage in a timeline and delete all the B grade shit and just put all of that A grade shit into a condensed timeline, your best shit ever. If snowboarders can constantly watch that timeline and it doesn't get like shitty,
Yeah.
you fucking did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can go back to, like, clips in the 90s, early 90s, and you're like, this shit will remain timeless forever.
Yeah.
Johan's clips, doesn't matter what century we live in, will be amazing snowboarding clips.
Yeah.
And if you can complete that timeline, you fucking did it.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to say here is, Torgeir, you did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tune in, subscribe.
Nice. Solid.
Also, for the next time you come to Whistler, because you didn't do this podcast until today and I didn't know when you're going to do it, you have a Scandinavian bath pass. Valid anytime you want.
Nice.
Thank
you.
That's to you. Shout outs to all the sponsors. Thank you so much to the Patreon. And stay tuned. We're going to have a film come out. If all my footage doesn't get caught, I'm going to have footage beside Torgeir.
We're going to have footage together. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited, actually.
Favorite trick on the forum step down?
Front one. TBD.
That's a wrap.
Nice.
3, 2. Oh my God.
Yo, what's up?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the program.
Shout out to Airtime, y'all podcast.
Yes, sir.